Greetings and welcome to HFS Unfiltered. My name is Rohan Kulkarni and I lead the healthcare and life sciences practice at HFS Research. My guest today is Pamela Spence, who is EY's global health science and wellness industry leader as well as life sciences industry leader. Welcome, Pamela.
Thanks very much, Rohan. Delighted to be with you today.
Little less than a month ago, HFS published its HFS Horizons for Life Sciences Service Providers 2023 study. In this study, we evaluated 29 service providers across four dimensions: why, what, how, and so what, to categorize them into three horizons. Horizon 1 service providers support functional transformation to help reduce costs. Horizon 2 service providers drive enterprise business transformation at scale to impact cost and experience, while Horizon 3 providers leverage deep healthcare expertise to craft domain specific transformation that address costs, experience, and health outcomes, the triple aim of care. Pamela, I think EY did really well in this study. Its strategy translated into its positioning, matching the outside-in perspective with what EY intends to address, backed by evidence across the triple aim of care. What were your general views of these?
Thanks, Rohan. I mean, obviously, we were delighted with where you and your team's evaluations positioned us as a Horizon 3 player, and naturally, we were delighted with that. But I think more so, I think that it was very interesting, particularly in some of your analysis, that I think the triple aim of care that you do talk about a lot, that the balances cost, but it's got to be effective cost, access, and an outcome is a really important one. So I think that we were really pleased to naturally align to that. I mean, of course, some of the things we talked about, we do have platform technologies that are driving to help different stakeholders across the industry actually align on what is value and thus align on what they are measuring their value and the outcome that is given to patients again. So I think that we think that they're the most important things to focus on. I also thought in your study it was really interesting that many of the people, the stakeholders that you talked about emerging technologies, but actually there's nothing new about a lot of the technologies that are in play today, and there's a real drive to get them adopted at scale. And I think that was a really important message, and various other studies are also saying the same thing. But I think there's so much that clients can do in terms of driving greater efficiency to free up cash to deploy in furthering innovation, and that can only come, the majority of it can come by really embracing the adoption of technology. Either whether you're digitizing an existing business model or you're completely putting a new higher tech business model into your business, I think it's all about adoption, and people need it fast. Otherwise, innovation is going to be slowing and less suboptimal.
Let me ask you another question. As EY's global head of all things health and wellness as well as life sciences, you are in a prime position to talk to us about what the future holds for both the life sciences industry in general as well as your business in there. You mind sharing a few of your thoughts there?
Yeah, sure. I think we certainly are focused on four specific areas, and those four specific areas, I think, really align to where the industry needs certainly our services the most. But the things that we're really focused on, where I know I'm confident that we collectively can bring value, is all around the product launch area. I think that the reimbursement hurdle is increasing even more, and I think that in itself is going to be more challenging for companies to navigate, whether it be pricing, whether it be alternative business models, whether it be outcomes reimbursement. I mean, there's a whole myriad, I think, of complexity because of the economic cost pressures and also the volumes on demand in healthcare. So that's one area. The other area is, I think it's really exciting, and as an ex-biochemist myself, there's a lot of new modalities, be it ADCs or cell and gene therapies coming in, and that really requires a more agile manufacturing and supply chain infrastructure. And so we coin this digital plant to patient. How can you really use technology to be more efficient, more agile, more technology driven in that whole area? And that's an area that we're really focused on. I think there's great opportunity for companies there. And the third area is capital efficiency. I think there's a lot of selling as that has been done as M&A, as companies have narrowed their therapeutic focus to be excellent in a few of their chosen areas. But I think that bolstering some of those pipelines to really go deeper, I think that'll happen, and we're really focused there. And the fourth is really the whole regulatory area, including tax, and the seemingly increasing complexity that there seems to be there. And that's the fourth area that we're really focused on. And I think that all of those areas require technology to be interwoven in all of our work in those areas. And certainly internally, it's a balance of how do we invest in solution technologies and how do we invest in technology training for our people so technology can be embedded in everything that we're doing. But predominantly, those are the four areas that we're certainly focused on the most.
Fascinating. Thanks, Pamela. I would love to chat with you some more, but we are short on time this morning. But appreciate your thoughts. We look forward to the many successes that you will continue to drive for EY in the life sciences space. So really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me this morning.